Hi, Claire. How you doing? Got your work up, and I got your paper up. Okay, one of the things I want to mention about the paper is that for your final submission, make sure that your paper has been updated. And for example, right now you're showing all of your work. Okay, but this is supposed to be compiled into one written report, so it wouldn't make sense to have your spread for 2 and 3. Okay, then your rationale, and then give your citations. Citations would be listed at the end of a paper, right? So this way it doesn't look like you just compiled the different parts of your paper. You actually have to adjust your writing too. I noticed that there's a couple of inconsistencies. For example, you're still using this typeface even though you changed it in the piece, clearly changed it. So that's not being reflected in the written rationale. So definitely make sure that this is composed as a completed report reflecting the changes and edits that you have made in the work, and also indicating that this is one report instead of a compilation of 4 reports. And I think the best way to do that is to make sure that your work's cited. There's a typographic error, spelling error right there. That your works cited are complete at the end of the paper as opposed to the end of each section. Okay, let's move to the work. I'm just really enjoying this piece a lot. I think the cover just came out beautifully. It really did. And the two quotes are working together. So that's really interesting too. Great job with the Memphis piece. Really interesting cover. I would pick this up in a heartbeat and page through it, definitely. So the cover is a home run. And the interior spreads are smart. You're thinking about what's going on here, and the types, the quotes are actually very relevant to the images. Okay, a couple of things that are a little bit bothersome in terms of typography. And the one thing is this: is that you're kind of setting this consistency up right here, where you've got everything left aligned to this margin right here. The cover, the first page, the second page, all aligned, and then all of a sudden, boom, you jump into the middle like this. So I'm not saying do either. I'm saying maybe just if you're gonna align this left, do so through the entire composition. All right. Otherwise, don't set up 3 pages aligned and then jump the last one, because that'll point too much to inconsistency, and it will look like a mistake to the person who's reviewing your portfolio. So for that reason, I would either reconsider all of the left alignment, because right now you've got left, right, left. So you have all left and one right. So maybe you could throw a couple more right alignments in here. There's no reason this couldn't be right aligned. Rag left. I'm sorry, left aligned, rag right. There's no reason. No, this has to be like this because of the shape of the face. So that you kind of have to stick with your left align there. This is wide open because it's a white page. Okay, I hope you follow what I'm saying. Another thing about typography is try to stay a little bit more consistent in your type size presentation and your leading and kerning. Because right now you're seeing you've got a pretty big leading. Good line spacing, and that's the space between these 2 lines. And then over here, it seems to be well, actually, it's pretty consistent. But look at how big this type is, this typeface, compared to the others. You got some good consistency going here, here, and here. Okay, but then you don't. Then this is just clearly much bigger. Okay. Another thing that's kind of bothering me a little bit is the fact that you laid a box over this image, and that box is meant primarily to hold your type. And I think that's a mistake. I think it separates the type too much from the image. I think that if you were to take this type right here, just lay it right on that image, but select a lighter color, maybe sample a color from one of these bottles up here. Get that color into the type. That way it's not pure white, so it won't be like right in your face, but it'll recede a little bit, but you won't have to have that gray box, which to me it looks like the gray box was put there as a matter of convenience so that you could see the type. And that's really the typography should coexist with the page, not be forced upon the page like it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this type coexists with the page. Okay, this right here, I think, honestly, Claire, I think it's a mistake. I do. I think this presentation, I talked about this. So if you have a reason, let me know. But otherwise, I think it's a mistake. I really do. I think this is the weak link of the whole zine. No quotes here. Okay, again, I really think that this quote, stopping this quote right here, which is perfectly fine, will just really, really tie in with that image beautifully. I mean, I talked about that, so that's nothing new. And then finally, this type right over here. These lines are really short. So example, you're saying, for me, art can reflect the celebration of the sample of good things in life. So I'm thinking about the cadence here. Think about it, because your lines are just really super short here. For me, comma, art can reflect, new line, the celebration of the simple, new line, and good things in life, new line. This is most important to me. That would give you a little bit, I mean, I understand what you're doing. It's a good idea to try to mimic the vertical nature of those stripes, but I just think that this is just, the character count is just too short. All right, those would be my comments. Don't forget to adjust these. I think I did use that one example right there, where we guys definitely got to update your paper and make it complete reflection of the actual work itself. So fantastic job. Love the work. Love the visual. Love the aesthetic. Love the principle and the concept. Very, very nice. Any questions, or if I could clarify anything, please let me know. Okay, thanks. Good job.